Sports on 6.
Welcome into Charles Schwab Field for Game 1 of the College World Series Finals. And for this first game, we have a marquee pitching duel between LSU's Kade Anderson and Coastal Carolina's Cam Flukey. Anderson led the nation with 170 strikeouts this season. The guy can beat you with 4 different pitches, including a fantastic, deadly mid-80s slider. Then he's expected to be a top 3 pick in next month's draft. Then you look at Flukey. He has started every game 1 of this NCAA tournament for Coastal Carolina. The right-hander hasn't gotten as much attention as the Chants ace Jacob Morrison, likely their game 2 starter, but he is already looking like a first-round talent for next year's draft.
He's a competitor. He's puts his nose in the dirt and goes to work. And when you have somebody on the mound like that, it's easy to play for.
It's not a one-man deal. You need a whole team to win. So just rooting on my guys when I'm not on the mound, and when I'm on the mound, just giving them all I got.
You know, he's going to do everything he can, you know, to give us a chance to win. So when you have somebody like that on the mound, you know, you love playing for him.
Now, Coastal Carolina, their lineup prides itself on getting on base however possible. What Kevin Schnall calls freeze. That's walks and hit batsmen. They lead all of college baseball. In fact, a D1 record 176 hit batsmen this season. On the other end, though, LSU's Kade Anderson has only hit 3 batters all season long. Something has to give. It all starts at 6 p.m. here at Charles Schwab Field. Clayton Collier, Sports on 6.
Oh my gosh, Clayton, who is it going to be? Thank you so much. A lot of excitement out there this evening. We appreciate you. We'll find out later, of course.